To begin with, we're going to look at some gadgets that have stood the test of time and already achieved iconic status.
So, here are our top 10 gadget icons.
At number 10, the most modern gadget in the chart, Apple's Ipod. It's dominated the digital music market from the moment it was launched.
At number 9, it's the HP 35 scientific calculator. Launched in 1972, it suddenly made maths homework a whole lot easier.
Number 8 is the Nintendo Gameboy, designed in 1987 by a Japanese fella working for a playing cards manufacturer. This was the first handheld games console, and an incredible 100 million have been sold.
At 7, the Motorola Dynatac 8000 series, commonly known as the brick phone. By today's standards, of course, its vital statistics are laughable. It cost over £2,000. It weighed the best part of a kilogram, and to keep it on standby, you needed to charge it 3 times a day. But such is the human urge to communicate that by the end of the first year's production, over 300,000 people around the world were using phones like this.
At number 6, it's the DJ's turntable of choice, the Technics 1200. 90% of all clubs worldwide use them.
In 1969, Technics introduced the direct drive turntable system. With the motor coupled directly to the platter on which the record turns, it boasted less vibration and more rotational stability. The technology reached its zenith in 1972 with the introduction of the Technics SL 1200. The inherent stability of the deck ushered in a new era of vinyl manipulation, otherwise known as scratching, and heralded the birth of hip-hop and the cult of the DJ.
At number 5, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, or the Specky as it was affectionately known. It was an 8-bit home computer that meant you could finally play arcade games in your sitting room.
And at number 4, the Polaroid camera, launched in the 40s. Its instant pictures caused a massive stir, and today more than 200 million have been sold. At any given time, 100 Polaroid pictures are developing in shaking hands all over the world.
And so to our top 3 iconic gadgets from the past. And at number 3, it's the mouse. This mouse comes from one of the first computers to be sold with one, Apple's Lisa, which hit the market in a blaze of unpopularity back in 1983. But the mouse was already 20 years old. It was actually invented by a chap called Engelbart, who spent a couple of years testing out every conceivable form of screen navigation. Oh, and by the way, he didn't call it a mouse, he called it a bug.
Number 2 is the Sony Walkman. It revolutionised the way people listened to music. Before this, there was no such thing as a portable player. And the Walkman is also one of the few gadget brand names to make it into the dictionary.
And so to our number 1 iconic gadget from the past. The average living room would be a very tedious place if you had to get up off the sofa every time you needed to change channel or turn up the volume. Thank goodness then for the remote control.
The first remote controls of the 50s were connected to the television by a cable. Later came ultrasound, and in the 80s, infrared. Like all the best icons, it's changed our behaviour and turned us all into channel hoppers.
Of course, the remote's been far too successful for its own good. Every sofa's a breeding ground for them. We've got 5 next to ours. Still, it's better than getting up.
I've got 6.
Destination. You have reached your destination.
This week, Susie tests gadgets that can bring the Olympics to your home. I build a lie detector for £1.